Hey guys, it is Amy with Crafts by Aimee. I am in an event today, and it is a paper themed event. And am I totally prepared for it? Nah. When did that ever stop me from going live? Let's see if I can get this. So I am just cutting up some pockets. And this one is a side tuck. And I'm just going to cut them and I'm going to put them aside. Cut them and put them aside. And if I don't get them cut correctly, that's not a big deal. They're going to be folded up anyway, most of them. So it's not going to be that big of a deal. Or if I cut them too short, not a big deal. Try and cut this piece. A lot of times my paper rips. So it is 8 Eastern, 7 Central. And today I am in Wendy's group. Dusty Granny's Crafts by Wendy is our hostess. Her group is Dusty Granny's Event Group. Her assistant is Miss Tracy Arledge. And today's theme is Geese It Up. So our journal stuff is supposed to be all about geese. And no, this is not geese right here. But I promise you they're coming. Thank you, Wendy. But I did not want to have everything in my journal be geese related completely and utterly. I did make pages and I will show them to you as soon as I finish cutting these up. Because I did decide to make myself a journal. I'm going to make a traveler's notebook though, so it's not really a journal. May as well cut this piece up too. So, what's everybody up to? What did everybody do today besides watch crafts? I babysat. My niece is very loud. See, this is what happens. My thing like rips the corner. I can't handle that. So that's not happening. I don't know why it does that. It probably needs a new blade, but I did not change mine. Hey, Kim. Kim started us off today. After me is Tamara. Before me was Miss Teresa with Teresa L Creations. After me is Crafty Fox Creations with Tamara. I keep wanting to call it her old page name. Hey, Miss Tracy. So I am cutting out pockets. For the journal that isn't all together yet. Hey, Lisa! I know when you sent out that message to me earlier saying I'm getting ready to go live, I was like, I wonder whose event she's in because she wasn't on the lineup for Wendy's. Hey, Brenda. So I've cut out pockets. I've cut out bookmarks. Now we're going to cut out some tags, and then I will show you the journal, and we'll get working on it. And I'm probably just going to use my smaller cutter. I don't need that one out. That one I need out when I'm doing big full pages, because this one only is, I don't even know how many inches is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches. 8.5 inches, baby. We were full of baloney. Just kidding. That's what my mom used to tell me when I was a kid, because that's all I wanted for lunch when I was in preschool and in kindergarten, I think. All I wanted was bologna. So I'm not cutting these completely out. I'm just cutting them apart from each other. And this one was very light, so I kind of cut it a little short, but that's not a problem. I did create all of this myself. I do that a lot lately. Most of my stuff comes from Creative Fabrica. This I'm just going to trim off. A pair of scissors. I'm always trying to decide which scissors I want to use. And then I have some punches that we're going to cut out. But I do have a journal, you guys. I didn't lie. I did make a journal. This is just all of my extras that go with the journal. So we're going to make my cover out of some flimsy chipboard because it's just a traveler's notebook. And I do have some pages pulled. I was going to print some graph paper because I didn't feel like bending down to look for mine, but I didn't. So I have a doily, a couple of sheets of just school paper. I have one sheet of scribble paper, sketchbook paper. And then I was thinking of putting in some of my masking paper, because I have been liking this. And my notebook's not that big compared to it, so I figured I might be able to do that. So these are my papers that I made. So they do have ducks / geese on them. I looked up the word geese and this is what came up. So the reason my stuff was purple is because these geese have purple. A lot of purple bows and purple feathers and all of that goodness. So I've got 8 sheets with different ducks on them. And I'm going to intersperse them. So this one doesn't have any lines on the back. I have 4 of them like that, and then 4 of them that do. Easy for me to say. So this duck looks grayish. We've got duck in rain boots with hats on. We've got ducks with watering cans. This one's actually watering. This one's just sitting by one. We've got ducks with balloons. We've got another duck in the rain with boots on and one that's not. We've got ducks with flowers. Hey, Miss Carla. Hey, Bonnie. We've got more ducks with flowers. This one looks kind of like a granny with the hat. I love her hat. So those are my regular pages. Like I said, half of them are lined and half of them aren't. So we are going to mix and match. So I'm just going to do one of each. So I'm going to pull one from the bottom and one from the top. Thanks, Brenda. And then I will go in with these pages and put them interspersed. So I might put this one somewhere where a lined paper isn't, like that. These I'm going to cut down, but I'll just put them in here for... Okay, if I could get them apart, that would be great. So for these, I would put them by pages that don't have lines on them. So maybe one right here and one back here. And then the doily can go in any spot because it doesn't have lines on it, but it's not really a page, so. I kind of like putting it in the middle, so maybe we'll put it here. So these are my pages. And like I said, I'm probably going to cut a couple of pieces of that to fill in because I don't like having these pages back to back. I like having something in between them. So let's see how many pages I would need, because I also have my rice paper by my desk that I could cut up to put in here. So I definitely need 1 page for the between those 2. 2. 3. So 3 pages. So maybe we'll do... Should we do 3 pages of this, or should I cut up a piece of the rice paper to put in there? I am going to get my trimmer back out. But I'm going to need my bigger trimmer because I need the length. And that one does not go to 8.5 inches. Wendy says rice paper. So I'm just going to cut off this jaggedy edge. And then I'll trim it to the size I want. Because I have a roll of rice paper that I don't really use for anything else. I usually just cut it up to put in journals. Because it rolls up and it's annoying. So let's put this way now. And we'll do 8.5 inches. Do my masking tape. So I'm going to do 2 of these. That was not the right size, you guys. That could be kept for something else. I need it to be 11 inches. Not 8.5. I need it to be 11 inches wide. Good thing I have a ton of this. I'll just save it for something else. Hey, Krista. Sorry I didn't hop on last night to work on my Disney journal, but I kind of got sucked into rewatching Glee last night. I was binging it yesterday. And I lost track of time. One minute it was like 5 o'clock, and the next minute it was whatever time I was posting that I wasn't going live. And I was watching it today while my niece was here. And she actually told me I could keep watching it. She was like, I was like, can I watch another episode? She says, yes, 6. And that was the next episode. I was watching the last 2 seasons. I could not watch the quarterback episode. That just ain't happening. I do not feel like crying. I did not feel like crying whatsoever, so I did not watch that episode. I know my limits. So I'm pretty sure that this is 11 inches long. Nope, it's actually 12. So it's actually going to be longer than what we need. We'll fix it. I will be using masking tape for my journal cover. I saw that Tamara does that when she does her little golden books when she's putting them back together. Okay, so this one I do need 8.5 because the page is falling off. That other one was not. This one is good. This happens all the time. I hate this. Well, we're going to have a jaggedy paper because I am not going to throw this piece of paper away. And I'm not cutting another one. It's just going to have a chunk ripped out of it. This is why I don't like using this paper, especially for prints anymore. Because I can never get them to cut. I don't know if it's because I need to change the blade or what, but obviously I did not change the blade yet. And yeah, that ain't happening. I'm going to grab my scoreboard. For anybody that knows me, I use this to fold my pages. Because I like to have this straight edge here to put it against. I tried scoring pages and just folding them at my sister's over the weekend. That was just a hot mess. Not even a hot mess. It was just a mess. Okay, this needs help. So before I score it, I am going to iron it. Ironing is fun. I used this iron the other day for my dad's t-shirt that I made over the weekend. I got Emmy to hand it to him, and he was like, I was like, Emmy, go and give this to Papa. And she goes to give it to him, and he's taking stuff outside, and his hands are full, and I'm like, oh, man. Yes, I am envious of Krista because I finished reading my Disneyland book that I bought. While this is heating up, I'll show you guys. I ordered these out-of-season books from Amazon. so they were less expensive. It's a guide to Disney World, a guide to Disneyland, and it has all kinds of pictures and stuff in it. Ooh, that looks like Sprocket. Huh. So I'm going to cut that up. I'm going to cut that up and put it in my journal. Yesterday was the first day in a while that I haven't been running around doing something. I'm either working on stuff for my group, getting ready for a live in somebody else's group, babysitting, going shopping to the grocery store, dog sitting, you name it. I've been doing it. And next weekend is going to be so much fun. I say sarcastically. Hey, Victoria. Hey, Tamara. Hey, Deb. So this weekend I'm dog sitting again. And then I get to dog sit basically for a whole week. I'm not even gonna lie. It's basically a whole week. Because my sister's going to leave town and my brother-in-law is going to leave town. They're going to be going to different places for the same dates for part of the week. So, yeah. That's not exactly my idea of fun because I will be coming home all the time. Yeah, I looked up that because I knew Birnbaum's had that book because I had bought one in the past because I wanted to go visit my friend in Disney World and that didn't happen. But I had it, so I don't know where it is at the moment. I also think it was the 50th anniversary and I don't want to cut that one up. So right now I'm just going through and folding all of my pages and putting them aside. And I will put these in where they go as I get to them. Just ordered it. Gotta love it. They talk about something on here and the next thing somebody's saying, oh, I just ordered it. Okay. I think I'm gonna do one of these here. So I've got the first 2 pages done. And we have this one. And this needs to be trimmed. So I'm just pressing it down here so I can trim it. I'm not trimming this, I'm trimming this. So let me get my paper trimmer back out. So I am going to trim this to 5.5 inches. Yes, I'm like, oh my God, am I cutting this wrong again? And then, nope, I don't want to cut it that way. I want to cut it this way. I like to leave the big piece up at the top. And then I'm cutting it to 8.5 inches this way. So got this one. See, this is all I had at my sister's over the weekend, so I used the scoreboard part of it. I don't really like it. I like it as a trimmer. I don't like it as a scoreboard because the numbers are not right. This one, where it says 9, there's actually a groove. On the one that's a trimmer, it's not like that. So I kept having to move things, and I just like having this edge to be able to just fold paper. Because then you don't have to score it. You just have to fold it. Got our sketchbook paper, and this was just from the Dollar Tree. They have 2 different ones that you can get from the Dollar Tree. This is the smaller one. The other one you'd have to cut a little bit, so I have both of them, so I just use the smaller one for this. Got this. I think I'll put the other piece of the this instead of putting the rice paper right by the sketchbook paper. So I will be sewing this in. Just gotta figure all of this out. The folding. I can never decide if I want the good side on the inside or the good side on the outside. What do y'all do when you use doilies? And by the good side, I mean this is the back of it, and you can't see the little flowers as well. But I kind of like that when you open it, you do. That's how I do it. I'm just curious. Curious mind wants to know. I almost used the same setup that I had for Victoria's Journal, but I changed my mind. I used a different one for this. The ducks are very similar to the flamingos, though. They're very similar. They're not the same, though, because they weren't designed by the same person. I need to flip this way. That's the last thing I'm cutting. So you do the good side on this side, like that. The side that's going to be on the outside. And then this will be where that piece of rice paper will go. These last 2 pages. I will be getting that to flatten out some more. Yes, I was talking about the journal that I made for you. I almost used the same background design for it. Like this would have been like the one you used, but I did a different one for this. I kind of like this one. I use the same one for my journal that I'm doing for Disney. I put that at the top. Okay. Now I'm just going to get all my pages lined up. Because for some reason these aren't lined up. I don't know why, but they weren't. And I'm just checking to make sure my page like this is still towards the center. So that when I do my polls, I know it'll stay in place. I'm probably going to do the same amount that I always do. Trying to decide if I want to trim this page down. I could probably leave it as wide as it is. And we'll still be good. So I am just using 2 pieces of flimsy chipboard. This is 20 point. I do not recommend this. It's very flimsy. And I do have some stencils that I was thinking about putting on the outside of the journal. These were from Hobby Lobby. And they're mesh stencils. They sell a limited amount at the store. You know, this piece is not where it needs to be. It moved. Okay. I want to see how much I want to leave on the edges. I want to leave it wider than I want, but not too wide. So, let's see. I want to leave some at the top and some at the bottom. Let's see. Did I put my stuff back in here? No, I did not. Oh well. I'm going to have to get it out of here. I brought all my stuff to my sister's, so my pokey tool, my scoring tool, all of these things are in this container that I have on my desk that I bring with me when I go places. And I hadn't emptied it yet. Oh, I want to show you guys. I got a new picker tool. I love this thing. I don't know if... Can y'all read it? It says, Jesus, take the wheel before I run someone over. It's so me. It's green. So, yeah, that's me. I find humor in all kinds of stuff. Okay, so I have this. I want to see how much I left on the bottom and leave about the same amount on the top. So it's a little more than 1/4 of an inch. So let's see how much room is up here. I keep flipping this ruler over the wrong way. So it's a little more than an inch. So I'm going to cut off, let's see. That's too little. I'm going to cut off 3/4 of an inch at the top. And let's see how much I want to cut off the side. I want to leave a little bit of room. So I'm thinking I don't want to leave too much room. I might cut off 1.5. So 3/4 at the top and 1.5 on the side. And for this, I'm going to use my trimmer that I use for chipboard. So let's just cut this part off first. 1.5 on the side. And it didn't cut all the way through. I will come back with the scissors and fix this. Or I could get my craft knife, but since it's already got this score line, I feel like the scissors are fine. Because it's really cut, it's just not cut all the way through. And I'm going to do this for both the front and the back cover. So cut 1 inch off of that one. Cut 3/4 off this. And I'm just going to go ahead and score both of these so that I can have them finished. And thank you for saying that, Miss Carla. I love my little... I have all those beads, so I might as well use them for something. Okay. Yes, I've seen those at the Dollar Tree. I actually have some of the jumbo paper clips. They're actually less expensive at Five Below. I've gotten the ones at Five Below and they were only $1. And you got 10 of them. But I don't need any more because Wendy gave me a whole pack of them, and those were very high quality ones she gave me. And I have a ton of them left. I only used a handful. Okay, we got everything trimmed. So I'm not doing a spine. I am just going to leave a little gap in the middle. Not a big one. Maybe like 1 millimeter, because I don't want it to take up too much room. Although I did leave this completely wide enough. I just want to leave enough room that I can put my needle through. So I'm just going to run it along one of them, and then I will run it along the other side. And this is just masking tape. It's Duff brand. I really like Duff brand stuff. And it's from Walmart, and it's just general purpose masking tape. It's 3 inches wide, I think. Nope, it's 2 inches. It's only 2. Okay. So I'm flipping this over so I can line these up and leave a tiny gap in the middle. I mean a tiny gap. I just want to be able to put my needle through the tape. And I'm taping it on both sides because I want to make sure it's secure. And I will just trim the end after I tape it on this side. That back over there. So it does have a little crease in the middle, but that does not bother me. As long as I can open and close it, I'm good. So I'm just going to take my scissors. I like to use these because I can get close to the edge without cutting it. And I've used it with glue and tape before, so I'm not messing up a second pair of scissors doing this. Because I have done that before. I learned my lesson. I have one pair of scissors, my Tim Holtz scissors. I don't cut anything other than paper with them. I think I might have cut a piece of ribbon or fabric with one of them, just real small. But normally I do not do any of that because I don't want to have to worry about that. So I could have taken my score tool or one of my mini bone folders that are not sharp, like the one from this one I would not use. It's way too sharp. This is one of the ones that came with the scoreboards from either Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and it's not as sharp on the edge. I would just do that to press that back in so that it's not creasy in the middle, and you know that there's a good score line there so that you can get your needle through. So let me grab needles. I think I have like 2 of these that I might give away as Happy Mail for somebody that, if somebody wins Happy Mail and they like to sew things, I might give away one of those for that because we have a ton of them. Let's see what color thread we want to use. That one I'm thinking, I either use that one or I use this one, but I wouldn't use that brown one. So either this one or gray. What do y'all think? Should I go with the matchy with the light color, or should I go with the gray? What is this? I also have a lighter gray. Okay, I'm gonna keep all of them out. Y'all let me know which color we should use. Light or dark for the gray. And let me find my tool that I used to poke the holes in the journal. Don't worry, that was just a paper punch. Should we use the, Carla says dark gray. And I will probably come back and put something on the cover this after I punch all the holes and sew everything, because that's just how I am. So we've got a light gray and we've got a dark gray that we could choose from, since we kind of ruled out the natural color one. Brenda says light. Carla says dark. Anybody else want to vote on that? I'm getting my tools ready. Let's see. I should be able to do this with my small needle, but y'all know I'm one of the ones, I love my doll needle, so I always use that one. I'm gonna grab my awl, and I'm gonna position my book and this. Okay, Krista says dark. So I'm gonna poke holes in all of this at the same time. That way I know it's all lined up. Okay. This better fit. It's not gonna fit. Dang it. Okay. Well, it was worth a shot. It was worth a shot. So now I'm just centering it between the two ends. I do have my template that I use for my spine, so I'm just going to use that on that. So I like to do 6 stitches just because a lot of times I do the 6 stitches, and I'll explain this, is because I'll have papers that are different sizes. Like if I put a small envelope in here, or if the doily that I had used wasn't this tall, and I want to get like a good number of stitches in it. So if I had used one that was smaller and I only did 3 stitches, well, if I did a stitch up here and a stitch down here, there would only be one through the stitch in the middle. And I don't like that. That's just me, but I don't like that. I need to move this because it keeps unhooking my things on my container, and it's making it difficult to keep it together. I'm getting the spine out because the spine is in here. And you can use like the giant paper clips, the jumbo paper clips that Brenda was just talking about. I have binder clamps sitting out, so I'm just going to use these. I'm just going to use 2 of these on the ends to hold it in. And so I'm going to do the 6th one. So my 6th one, I think, is my brown one. I just want to double check before I start poking holes with the awl. Yep. I have a template that I can send you, Carla. I sent it to Miss Teresa. I don't know if it made any sense to her, but... None of mine ever end up on this perfectly in the middle, and that's fine with me. Like, and it usually doesn't always end up straight on the spine. I try, but it doesn't work. Yeah, it's just a Canva document. I think I have it uploaded in Dropbox. I think that's how I sent it to Miss Teresa. So, well, I don't know why I'm putting it all away, because I'm going to need it again in a second. So this is the template that I made out of some chipboard. It was just a leftover piece from something that I had used that wasn't even meant. It was meant to be on the back of one of those cabinets, like the one I have behind me. They have like squares that go on them, and I didn't put any on the back, so I had a ton of them, and I was using them for stuff, and so I have this. Yeah, message me and remind me to send it to you, because I have a horrible memory. I will forget. But I know I have it, so as soon as I see your message, I can go get the link and send it to you, because it's already uploaded. So I kind of want to make sure they're in the center where they need to be, but at the same time, I'm hoping for the best. Okay, well, that one went through where it needed to be. That one went through where it needed to be. Okay. Can we go 4 for 4? 4 for 4. Okay, I think I have it right. 5 for 5, you guys. We're doing well. 6 for 6. Woohoo! I actually was able to get all the holes in the middle of the spine where I left that opening. That usually doesn't happen for me, so I'm very excited about that. Okay. Was that up? And this one. I have lots of layers on this. If anybody's wondering where this container came from that I have all of this stuff in now, it is from Michael's, and I absolutely love it. It is one of my favorite things that I bought last year. I think I bought it last year. We'll go with the dark gray. See if I can get it open, because I think it's new. Yep, it was new. But I'm good with that. I love buying this thread at Hobby Lobby because it's only 99 cents. Or $1.99 depending on what kind you use. Mine is probably the one that's $1.99. This one I know was $1.99. This one was $1.99 as well. But I like how their thing on the, of course it's not going to do it. They have a little opening at the top. You can see that, where the thread goes in and it wraps around to keep it from unraveling. You know how they used to have the ones on the top that had like the little notch cut out where you would put the thread? Well, this is kind of like that, but it's definitely made it easier, because I swear my thread would always come out of that piece. So you don't knot your thread when you're doing this. You just pull your thread through, give yourself length so that it's not going to pull back through to hold on to. And we get our pages. And I always have trouble remembering how to sew this in with the stitch thing that I made. I have a cheat sheet, which is literally what I made the template from. This is my cheat sheet, because I always forget. If it's been a while since I've sewed something in, I need my instructions. And so I just pull them out. I have it on this scrap piece of paper. So I'm going to start on the outside. I don't like my strings showing, so I start on the outside and I tie it on the back, and then I usually, this one already has tape on it, but I will probably come back and put paper over it on the cover, at least on the spine. Oh, I'm sweating. My craft room is so hot. I don't want that sweat dripping into my eye. Okay. This always happens when I do this. It never wants to go in the paper. Which is why I like using my doll needle. For those of you that don't know, I use a doll needle. It's long and it lets me get my paper through. That's not lined up right. I didn't move anything. And my needle just got unthreaded. That's what I like about big eye needles, though. The thread just goes right back in them. Sometimes it's so much that you can't even see if you got it back in there. Okay, the reason I'm having an issue is because the paper I took out of the notebook already had holes in it from the notebook. So it's giving me trouble with trying to find the hole that I made, as opposed to the one that was already there. That's why I was having an issue with that. See, with doing 6 of these, I was able to get four holes in this shorter piece of paper, which I love. And yeah, it only went through one piece of paper. This is why it takes me a while to sew things together. But if anybody's interested in my journal, I think I might start selling stuff. I'm not sure. I haven't made up my mind, but like I said, I did make this one, so if somebody wants a duck journal. Randy wanted Victoria's journal, the flamingo one. I gave that one to her. I do put work into these, you guys. I don't just like, I mean, it doesn't take me forever to make them, but it does take me some time. Okay. I've got 1 stitch in. It's a lot easier to go in from the inside to the outside, but I don't like my thread showing. So you want to leave a long enough tail on the outside so that it's not coming undone. So it's a lot easier to go from this side to that other side. I love as I say that, it doesn't want to go through all the papers. No, Tamara is up after me, for those that missed the part where I said that. So this is my tail right now. It'll probably end up shorter than this in a second, because I'm going to pull this thread through a little bit more. But I want it to be at least 6 inches. so that I have room to tie it at the end. After you have a couple of the stitches in, it usually is easier to get the paper on your needle because it's more stable. It's gonna stay in place a lot more. It's not gonna move around as much once you have multiple stitches. I've always wanted to try this with the sewing machine, but I just don't have the nerve. I'm sure I could sew this together with a sewing machine. I mean, I sewed together cardstock with it, so I know that it works. I just don't know how many pages you could actually do it with. Okay. And I'm wanting to make sure that my thread is not getting tangled up in my stitches on the back. So then I'm going to come back through the hole I just did. So I came up through the third one, went down through the second, came up through the first one, and I'm going back down through the second one. It's basically doing a double version of a 3-stitch. It just gives you more stitches, like I said, to keep things in more securely if you're doing a ton of pages that are different sizes. This one I probably didn't need to do it, but for the sake of myself, I always do it like this. So then I'm skipping. I went in through the third, came out through the second. Went in through the first, came out through the second. Now I'm going through the fourth one. Hey, Miss Teresa, I was just talking about that template that I made for the spine. I was telling Miss Carla about it, and I had to pull out my instructions for myself because it's been a little while since I've sewed one of these together, and I wanted to make sure I did it right. And again, the page I'm having an issue with is the notebook page. Just saying. I usually don't have issues with papers, but it's the notebook page because it already had holes in it. And I added a new hole that it is giving me issues. But no fret, we will get this finished sewing together. So I'm going to go down the next one. I came up this one, I'm going down this one. And like I said, once you have pages sewn together with a few stitches, it makes it a lot easier to get the holes from one side to the other. Going in the bottom one. Like I said, this is why I use dull needle. Because it's long. And I can get my papers to be on it. Even with spaces. Okay. So I came up through that one. I'm going back through this one. Just like I did at the top. And apparently I just made an extra hole in the back, but I don't know how to fix that. I'm just going to roll with it. It's not harming me. It's not harming the book. I do want to make sure that I can get my second piece of string through here. You don't want it to be like this. You don't want this to be tied like, you don't want it to be like this. There. So you might have to pull it along as you go a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. So now I'm taking my stitch. I'm going back through this hole that's number 4, or at least that's what I labeled mine as. It's number 4, hole number 4. And I swear, I always have issues going back through these holes. It doesn't matter how many times I have done this. I always have trouble going back through the holes, even if I've already stitched through them once. I always get to one page and I'm like, nah, it didn't go through that hole. And I can always tell when it didn't go through a hole because I can feel it poking on another page, that it's not laying flat. So we came up through here, and this is our last stitch, you guys. So we're going back through the very first stitch we did. So you want to start at one spot, and you want your thread to end up back at that spot so you can tie your thread together closely. I am going to tighten everything. Well, that was good. I finally got the needle to go through all the pages and stuff, and it came unthreaded. I was so excited because I was all like, oh yay, I got it to go through. And now I'm going to have issues with it. Oh, isn't that how it always is? Oh. Okay. Stay in the needle this time. Good. Okay. I give myself tons of extra thread because I don't trust myself. So you can see that this is loose right here. So you want to pull your thread to make it not loose. Yes, I always mess up something. So I've used my rules. I'm putting them back on the side. I don't need them anymore. And I'm putting my needle back in my case so that I know where it is the next time I need to sew something together. Hint, hint, Tamara. So we want to make sure I'm flipping it over. I'm making sure none of my threads are loose. That one's really not loose. It's just my first thread, and I didn't have my first stitch, and I didn't have the I didn't have it pulled tight. But you want them to be tighter. You don't want them to be loose, loosey goosey. And you can put as many knots in it as you want. I tend to do like 3, 4 of them. Sometimes I have to do more because I made a huge hole and I don't want the thread going back through it. Another thing I will also do after I snip my excess off, I leave about 1 inch. Yes, I'm throwing away thread, but I would rather have too much thread than not enough. I am grabbing my tape. I'm grabbing a tiny piece of tape. You do not have to do this. I just do this to make sure that my thread is not going to go back through that hole. I just put a piece of tape over it. And like I said, I'm probably going to come back and cover the cover with some paper, or at the very least the spine part. So now we've got our ducks all in a row. So we've got all our ducks, and instead of cutting all this stuff out and doing that, I want you guys to help me decide about the duck on the cover. Should I try to do 2 of them, or should I just do 1? Because 2 of them are not going to fit like side by side. They're just not. But I could do like 1 at the top and 1 towards the bottom. I think that would work. And I kind of feel like these are the boys and these are the girls. I don't know if that's true. And actually looking at it, this one doesn't have, they all have eyelashes. So I just think this is a girl because of the bow on her. Let's see if I could fit that. Oh yeah, that's not anywhere near his foot. So before I do anything with stencils, I always write on them. So since I think that the one like this and this is the boy, I'm going to label it with boy and it's facing the right. So that's how I'm going to write that. Boy, right. And this one will be boy left. Same thing with the other one. This one, she is facing right, so it's going to be girl right. And girl left. I always do this, so I make sure I put my stencils back on the sheets that I've cut them from. Some people just cut them off the backing sheet. That's not me. It's okay, Maureen. It's totally okay. So I think we decided we were going to do this boy and this girl. And I'm going to do them in gold ink. So I'm just going to move the stuff that I have for the journal. Those are all my pieces. I'm just moving them out of the way so that I don't get ink on anything that doesn't need to be inked. So I'm just going to use my Magnolia Glitter and Gold ink. I used it this weekend. And I am going to actually just lay this flat just so it's easier on me. And let's see about doing the bottom one. No, let's do the top one first. I am getting my heat tool so I can dry it. And I'm just going to grab, of course, a Chocolate Squeegee, Magnolia ink, and Hobby Lobby stencils. That's just how I roll, you guys. It's just how I roll. So they're all going to be gold. So they're the golden geese. You could use paste for this too if you wanted to. You don't have to use ink. I'm using the ink because I have it out. And because I like using ink on like paper and stuff. So like when I've done cards in the past. I'm just making sure that's not on my spine piece. Now I'm thinking about how am I going to cover the spine. Oh well, I'll figure it out. So it's not going to really show up that much because it's gold and this is a brown. But I thought it was appropriate. The golden geese. So you just need enough to cover the stencil. And then you can come back with the back of your squeegee and take all the rest of it off. Because you can reuse the ink. Yes! I want a golden goose now! We'll get you when we get home, Veruca. No, now! I'm just coming back to smooth out a line that I can see right there. I probably should have fuzzed this before I put this on here. Because I'm not smart and I didn't think of that. And I'm ripping up the page now. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Listen to me, don't do what I did. I forgot to fuzz my stencil. Thanks for having me, Wendy. So I'm going to put my stencil on my silicone mat and clean it off. Because I need to clean the back of it off now because it has paper on it. I just want to show you guys that that happens. I don't know if y'all can see all the brown on here. That's all paper from the chipboard. Are you tripping? No, I'm not tripping. The golden goose from the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Veruca wants a golden goose. Or the goose that laid the golden egg. That's what Krista was saying. And that's where my mind kind of went when I was thinking about this earlier with the ink. Partially I was thinking the ink because I had it over here. Partially I was thinking it because those ducks laid golden eggs. And I just think the goose should have been, the geese should have been golden, not just the eggs. Why are their eggs gold, but they're not gold? So just so y'all know, you can use disinfectant wipes on the back of these kind of stencils. It doesn't damage them in any way, shape, or form. The stickiness will come back after it's dry. But I needed to get that off of there because I should have fuzzed this before I put it on the paper. And I did not. So, learn from Amy's mistake. Don't do what Amy did. Yes, I love Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is one of my favorite movies. And I will watch the opening over and over again. I just like watching all the chocolate being made in the beginning of the movie. Like, I'm talking opening credits, not like the first scene of the movie. So we'll just dry our duck that got messed up. He's not that messed up. Maybe he just got pecked at. Just really need to make sure it's split's dry. This time I am going to remember to use a tacky towel. This is your friend. This is what you're supposed to put this on and do this to so that it doesn't rip things up. This is not what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to let it fold over on itself. But you're supposed to put tack on it so that it doesn't pull up your paper. Or if you're doing paste and a wood surface, you don't want it pulling up your paint. However, Amy always has that happen, so hopefully this time it will not pull up the paper. Oh look, I don't even have it on his foot. And the inside of this towel I can use to clean this stencil too, but I didn't really need that. I probably will go run those underwater after my live just to make sure. I don't know. Maybe Facebook. You should get Telegram if you don't already. I'm on there. I don't always remember to go on there and post that I'm going live, but I try. We're making golden geese right now on the cover of a traveler's notebook journal thingamajig, whatever this thing is, that I designed because I don't have enough on my plate. I should add more things to it by designing my own journal for Wendy's event. Up after me is Tamara, Crafty Fox Creations by Tamara. And up after her is Wendy, our wonderful hostess. And I miss this duck's toes. And before me was Miss Teresa L Creations. If you missed any of the lives, you can go back and watch them in the group. They will be available for 30 days. This one should not. Okay, it rips some of the paper off, but not as much as the guy. Another reason I clean the stencils right away with these disinfectant wipes is because ink tends to stain stencils a lot faster than anything else. And I am over my time, so we have to go watch T. I will see you guys over in her comments, and I will go wash the stencils. Bye, guys.